Okay, I will use the Quranic word Jibrail, Mikail, Israfil and Israel. So it is said that Jibril is the one who brings revelation to the prophets. Mikail is the one who brings sustenance to everybody, yeah, rosy to everybody. And Israfil is the one who will blow the trumpet on the day of judgment. And Israel is the one who captures your soul, yeah. And people think that he is the one who will just come when you are about to die and he will pull your soul. Since we all have the spark of Almighty in us, and when the divine spark is there, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has hinted that that divine spark should become a universal flame. It should merge into a universal flame, or it should itself become the universal flame. When the divine spark is within us, so all the other heavenly things are also in us. Allah says He has a pen, He has a tablet, He has a throne, He has angels. So actually all these things are there in that divine spark. Because if we have divine spark, all other things are there. So actually these four angels are our four internal powers, our four spiritual powers. So Jibril is the angel of imagination. It means that Jibril is the one who inspires you for knowledge, and it is imagination, the angel of imagination. Imagination is known as khayal in Arabic. So the first step which is there for spiritual enlightenment in our tariqah is known as Baytul Khayal, the house of khayal. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah Salawatullah Alayhi has said that your body cannot reach there, but your khayal could reach there. Yeah, Baytul Khayal Faramin, he has said that. So we have five senses, five physical senses, like seeing, smelling, touching, tasting, etc. So Pir Nasir Khusro says you have five spiritual senses, and the first very sense amongst those five senses is imagination, power of imagination, because your power of imagination can fly very fast. Sitting here, you want to think about somebody whom you have met in Africa, Pakistan, Hunzai. You can think about it now, and that person would come in front of you. You want to think about Maula, he will just be in front of you. So I remember Alama Sahib used to ask us that close your eyes, imagine that Maulana Hazar Imam is coming, Darbar is there, and now there is a whistle to announce that he has arrived, and now Maula is coming out of his car. Just imagine that Pindol, and then you see Maula coming in, and now Maula has come and sat on his throne, and he's saying Khana Vadan. He looked at you, he smiled, So our power of imagination, if it is refined, it becomes almost like a real power. And the beginning miracles of Baitul Khayal start in that imagination, that your imagination becomes very strong, and you could see this world, exact copy of this world in your imagination, but that copy is very purified, very bright, and those problems which you see in this world are not there in that copy. It is a refined copy which you see in paradise of your imagination. So Jibril is the angel of imagination. And when you keep doing this kind of exercises, or you sit in Baitul Khayal, then your Jibril is working. Yeah, if you are enjoying, your Jibril is working. Mikail is the power which brings rosy. So since we Ismailis believe that we are body, soul and intellect, so rosy is just not about body. You also need spiritual rosy, you also need intellectual rosy. So spiritual rosy is tasbih, ibadat, girya, huzari, ginan, and spiritual rosy is knowledge. When we listen to something which appeals us, which has some deeper meaning in that, then your intellect is being nourished. So God is not praised that He created mankind and He gave them physical rosy. The actual praise of Allah is that He gave you intellectual rosy, spiritual rosy. And there is a verse in the Quran which is in chapter 5, verse 114, where Prophet Jesus, Hazrat Isa and his friends pray that, "Oh Allah, send us a tablecloth from the sky so that we eat from that." And people believe that Isa used to get a physical tablecloth which had kebab and fish and chicken kadai, everything. And he and his friends ate every day from that tablecloth. But the Tawil says that that was not the case. It was the spiritual and intellectual rozi which used to come from sky. Sky means the higher realm of spiritualism. So Imam is a higher sky for us, and from there that rozi would come. And while explaining that, I also narrated one of the incidents of one of the wars at Prophet's time. That once a friend of Prophet comes and he says, "Oh Prophet, I'm starving," because it was war time and there was no food. The food was scarce. So he came and he said, "Oh Prophet, I am starving and I cannot fight anymore." And he lifts his shirt and he has tied a stone with his stomach. I think this is one of the ways people used to satisfy themselves, that if they are too hungry, they used to tie a stone. This I have heard from Sahib also. In Hunzai they also do that. They used to. So Prophet just smiled and he lifted his shirt and he had two stones. So, I mean, Prophet was much more hungry than that person. So the point is that one Prophet works hard, he struggles and he finds his rozi, and another Prophet gets every day from the sky doing nothing. He and his friend get the rozi from sky. That is strange. So this was not the physical rozi, this is the spiritual rozi. So Mikail is the power which helps you think the deeper meaning of whatever you read or you listen to. If you read a farman and you try to understand what it could imply, then you are inviting your Mikail to help you. And if you are doing ibadat and you're inviting your Mikail, then he will help you more. So understanding the meaning of farman, the deeper meaning of ginan, is because of Mikail, because he brings the rozi of soul and intellect. And then we have Hazrat Israfil. Now, it will be strange if we say that Jibreel is one of the greatest angels, but he just brought revelation on prophets, and after Prophet Muhammad, he's just sitting and relaxing for last 1400 years. That will be very strange, yeah. Similarly, for Hazrat Israfil, if we think that he's the one who will just get up on the day of resurrection, so he's sitting, relaxing on a chair in one of the corner of sky, just waiting for that Qiyamah to come, and he will get up, blow the trumpet, again sit down, and again for, unlimited years he will be sitting again. So no, Israfil is angel of music. The Ginan Khan, who recite Ginan in our circle, Alama Sahib has given them a title, Lashkar-e Israfili, the army of Israfil, because Israfil will blow a trumpet, and the apparent meaning or the apparent explanation is that it will be horrible to your ears and you will not be able to bear it. But Alama Sahib says that no, it is the most sweetest music in the world you can hear. It is the essence of all the instruments of music which you have in this world. It's a very melodious tune which you hear and which continues for a long time. This is Israfil, which has started Qiyamah within you. But how do we strengthen our Israfil? Through listening to Ginan, through listening to rhythmic tasbeehs, and reciting Ginans by ourselves, That will strengthen your Israfil within here, and then it will work for you. And Hazrat Israel, it's very strange the way Sahib has explained it. Very astonishing. Sahib said, Israel is the one, he captures your soul. So Sahib says, when you are tired, he captures your soul of tiredness, When you are sleeping, he wants you to relax, so he captures your soul. There is a verse in the Quran which says that when you sleep, Allah captures your soul, and when you wake up, he sends them back, So, unless for the one whose time has finished in this world. So this is a very strange verse, that when you sleep, your soul is captured by Allah, and it is sent back to you, unless for the one whose time is finished in this world, that person doesn't wake up. Otherwise, the soul is sent back. So, there is one verse in the Quran which says, we have appointed Israel upon you. Malakul Maut ko tumhare upar muwakkal banaya hai. So the angel Israel is appointed for every one of us. So if he is appointed, it means he is with us all the time. Whether we like him or we don't like him, we are perhaps scared of him. So Alama Sahib has written that he is there and he pulls your soul while it is tired. He pulls your soul when you are worried, and he gives you satisfaction, he gives you relaxation. So if we are sick physically or if we are sick mentally, if we recite the tasbih Allahu Akbar, the soul of tiredness, the soul of the worrisome soul comes out, and then the fresh souls come, because soul is on particles, so the particles just go and particles come. So then he narrates a very good story. You all must have heard it, that when Prophet got some of the maids in bounty after war, so Hazrat Bibi Fatima sent Maula Murtaza Ali that asked the Prophet to give me a maid because I'm doing a lot of work and I'm getting too much tired. So Maula Murtaza Ali, when mentioned it to the Prophet said that, "Oh my beloved daughter, shall I not give you something which is better than a maid?" So she says, "Yes, please give me what is better than a maid." And he says, "Recite Allahu Akbar." So Alama Sahib writes that it was to inspire her to say the tasbih so that the tired soul is captured by Israel. So Israel is someone who keeps working in your, all the four angels they keep working in our internal world. So in chapter 2 verse 97, Allah says, "If anybody of you is an enemy of Jibrail, he or she may be, but Jibrail has brought revelation to Prophet's heart." So Sahib has explained so well. He says, who could be an enemy of the Jibrail? The person who accepts that Jibrail is one of the great angel of Allah, why should he be an enemy of Jibrail? He has brought Iman on Jibrail. He accepts that Jibrail is an angel. He will not be an enemy of Jibrail. The one who does not accept that Jibrail is any angel, the one who does not believe in Allah, does not believe in Jibrail, why would he be an enemy? If you don't believe in somebody, you cannot be an enemy. To become an enemy, there has to be somebody that you are enemy of. But if you don't believe in Allah, you don't believe in Jibrail, how could you be an enemy of Jibrail? And if you believe in Jibrail, how could you be an enemy of Jibrail? So then Sahib says that he has given you the powers. If you don't nourish that power, then you are enemy of your Jibrail. You are enemy of your Mikail. You are enemy of your Israel. So you recognize these four powers, which are your internal powers, and you give them a space to work. You give them an opportunity to work. You create that kind of an environment that these angels work in you. So with these angels becoming active in you, you will be inspired to read books, read Farman, read Ginan. If Mikail is there, if you inspire your Mikail, or if you awaken your Mikail, it will help you think deeper about those things. He will bring you Rozi, and he will inspire you to do tasbih and think intellectually. Your Israfil will help you bring Qiyamah closer to you, because it is finally due to Israfil, he creates a lot of ishq. He creates a lot of love for Mawla, ardent love for Mawla, because he is Farishta of love, angel of love. So reciting Ginan, reciting Tasbihat helps a lot, Sometimes you are not attracted to a lecture or a wise, whatever you listen to, but if there is a good Ginan, your soul is attracted. It's easy for Israfil to capture you rather than anything else. So this angel of love, when it is awakened within you, then you feel a lot of love, Giriya Hozari, and that angel works for you, and resurrection is a revolution inside. So Israfil brings a revolution inside. There is a very beautiful verse of Alama Sahib in Persian which says, "Ishq dida sad qiyamat as qiyamat peshtar, astu hardam sad qiyamat Nur Maulana Kareem." That love has seen hundreds of resurrections before the actual resurrection, O Maulana Kareem. Because of your love, every time there is a resurrection, Resurrection is change. It is an internal revolution. And a mu'min who continues on his spiritual path every day sees himself a new one. Every time he finds that he found something new. He did a better Giriya Hozari today. He did a better Tasbih today. So that's how this is there are many other levels of explanation of these four angels. Okay, they are great angels, but they have a representative in ourselves, And if we awaken that representative, it gets connected to that big angel, greater angel. And they work in you, and they help you bring to spiritual resurrection, which Arif like Alama Sahib go through. So Alama Sahib says that It is not a work of one angel. All 4 angels work together, and that's how somebody goes through mutu qabla an tamutu, die before your deaths, and then he gets a new life, or he gets annihilated. So this was one of the themes, I thought that I must mention in English. Thank you.